It's always good having you. So there will be a response to your response, and on we go. What do you think?
Well, Neil, I told you when we spoke a few weeks ago that what happened on October 1st, we will not sit idly by. We will retaliate. That's exactly what we did last night. We sent a very clear message to Iran that you cannot send 200 ballistic missiles into Israel and expect us not to react. But unlike the Iranians, they targeted civilians. They used ballistic missiles, to say the least, which are not accurate. We used highly precise weapons, and we targeted military facilities. And it was a very successful operation. Just look at the map, see the distance between Israel and Iran, and think about the capabilities we have today to reach everywhere in Iran. I think today they know that they are vulnerable, and we would advise them not to challenge us.
And you know these numbers far better than I, Ambassador, so feel free to correct me. But in that Iranian attack on your country, they launched close to 300 missiles. There have been thousands of missiles launched since on the part of Hezbollah, Hamas, if you want to throw the Houthi rebels in there. Your famous Iron Dome has been able to deal with most of that, but it must be taxing it. How do you deal with these non-stop onslaughts, not only from Iran, but all of its proxies and all of them together?
Well, it has been a very tough year for us in Israel since October 7th. Like you mentioned, thousands of rockets flying from all over. You mentioned Lebanon, but what about Yemen, Iraq, Syria?
True.
You have militias, Iranian militias that are targeting us. But what happened in the last few weeks was a new paradigm. When Iran actually sent ballistic missiles from Iran into Israel, that's something we haven't seen in the past. That's why yesterday we had to send a message that we will not accept it. And I tell you that we have nothing against the Iranian people. We know that they are peaceful people. They are unfortunately have to suffer from the regime. But this regime is a hostile regime, a dangerous one. And look what they are capable of doing today in Lebanon, in Syria. They want to create chaos everywhere.
Ambassador, I know you're not free to give a lot of information. I well understand. But did any of this get run by the White House, that this response was going to happen overnight? Your time, it was finished by dawn this morning. Did any of that get run by the White House?
Neil, we are a sovereign country. We have a government. We have the cabinet. We take our decisions. We do discuss, issues with our allies, and we respect the strong bond between Israel and the U.S. But at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to protect our civilians, and that's exactly what we are doing. I want to remind you, the war against Hamas, against Hezbollah, against what we saw with Iran, it was all unprovoked. They're coming against us, and we are defending ourselves.
I always follow, as I'm sure you do, Ambassador, what the rest of the Arab world is saying about you, your country. Mild criticism, and I stress mild, on the part of the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, this latest attack, saying there have to be peaceful solutions. The U.S. itself working on this de-escalation conference, I guess, going on in Qatar, scheduled for tomorrow. What do you make of that?
Most of the countries you mentioned are very peaceful countries, and they are intimidated by Iran, that's threatening them day and night. And I think they will not admit it publicly, but they are proud of what we did last night. They are proud of the actions we took, because when you have somebody who's trying to bully your neighborhood, and somebody is standing up against him, you support the brave guy. And today, Israel, that is the brave young guy who stands against Iran, who is trying to bully the entire Middle East.
Danon, always a pleasure having you, the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Djobnik signing off.